Oh, I did not want to make this video. I was hoping to get an update beforehand, but unfortunately, the Patriots are the Patriots, and we have not gotten an update at all. We don't even know what the injury is. But yes, Christian Gonzalez left practice, the first padded practice of Patriots Training Camp, with a leg injury, they're calling it, and the severity is unknown. This is not good whatsoever. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And yeah, I was excited for today. First padded practice. It was looking good. I mean, Christian Gonzalez was strapping down Stefon Gilmore. There was a couple passes. I saw that Kayshon Boutte actually caught a couple passes on Gonzo, but then, of course, Mike Reese. All the Patriots supporters, but I chose Mike Reese because he is the most, I would say, the most credible out of all of them, working for ESPN. Shout out to everybody else, though. You'll see a lot of tweets from everybody in this video. Gonzo departed practice and headed to the athletic training shed under his own power after guarding Diggs on a crossing route in an early snap of 11-on-11 drills and appeared something related to his leg. And then Mark Daniels, he tweeted out the exact kind of details that were going on. He was covering Diggs, and after the veteran receiver caught a Drake Maye pass, the All-Pro cornerback immediately hopped up and grabbed the back of his leg. That's when Gonzalez called for the Patriots training staff and hobbled to the sideline. And I can't post a video. I wish I could show you guys the video, but I tweeted this out. Some Patriots fan that was at training camp saw and had it on video of Gonzalez limping off the sideline. And if you could see there, if you look closely, you could see Gonzalez is holding his hamstring. So I don't want to know the severity of it. We don't know the severity of it. I was hoping it was just a cramp, but he did not return to practice, and we haven't heard anything from Mike Vrabel or heard anything from the Patriots as of yet. But when we do get an update, I hope it's today. I hope it's nothing serious. It's just a little even if it's just a pulled hammy, he'll miss a couple of weeks and he'll be ready for the start of the season. But if it's anything serious, if it's anything lightly, we have you covered. And we will make a video, and that's why you subscribe to the channel. And if you could see right there, we are 80 subs away, people, from 27,000. So if you love the Pats, you want updates on all news and rumors, subscribe to the channel right now. So because he was pulling up on his leg and holding his hamstring, put two and two together, my guess is it's a hamstring injury. But the severity is determined. Like, if it's a serious hamstring pull, this could be a lingering effect for him the entire season. If it's light, he sits out a couple days, he sits out a couple weeks, and then he comes back and he's 100% healthy. But if it's one of those things where it's a really bad, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. I talk to you guys for a living. I'm not sitting there with the Patriots medical staff, but if it's a grade 1, grade 2, whatever it may be, and we just got not an update. That is not an update for Christian Gonzalez, but I thought it was. See, I'm on edge. I'm trying to see everything that happened. But if it's grade 1, grade 2, yeah, producer Moose is laughing, but it could be a major disaster. It could be with him the entire season. You rest your hamstring and then you come back, and if you plant once wrong, there you go. You're out and you re-injured it. But he walked off the field, which is a good thing. He wasn't carted off the field. He didn't fall to the ground and was needed help getting up. He was walking off the field. Now, it was gingerly, but it was a good thing. And that's all I can ask for, is walking off the field. It's not too serious, but hopefully we never know with a hamstring. The Patriots need Christian Gonzalez on this defense. And we haven't even talked about some of the takeaways from today's practice. Carlton Davis hasn't been there the last couple days. He has not showed up, and we do not know what is happening with him. You could see the step chart right here. Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, Alex Austin not on IR anymore. He is now going to be in that rotation. Marcus Jones, but then after Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis, the two guys that are there is no depth. No depth. It is Marcellus Dial, Alex Austin, and Marcus Jones. And I like you, Marcus Jones, but your slot guy is not going to be your quarterback 1. Past these two guys, there's not a lot of depth. And I've talked about it before on some videos, that maybe you should go out and sign a veteran. You missed out on Mike Helton, who went to a rival team, so that's that. But if it's really serious, you might need to go out and sign somebody. And we've talked about it on this channel before. There's 3 guys that are out there that I think could be a potential signing if Christian Gonzalez is going to be out for a long period of time. You have Asante Samuel Jr., and we know about his injury history. And then you have a guy that you've definitely scouted in the past in Rasul Douglas because he's been with Buffalo, so you know who he is. And then your third candidate, former Defensive Player of the Year and a guy who was with the Patriots for so long, Stefon Gilmore. It would be a nice reunion. I think he still has something left in the tank, but that's only if it's serious. If it's not, you don't have to go out and sign somebody. It's okay. Alex Austin actually looks pretty solid in training camp so far. But, I mean, Gilly Rock coming back. If it's serious, I would sign him in a heartbeat. You're going to get him on a low contract. You have $60 million, so it would help. But I'm just praying, please, to the football gods, Christian Gonzalez, be healthy, not have a serious hamstring injury. But I'll ask you guys because I'd give it probably about a 6 or 7 because hamstring injuries are not fun whatsoever. If you're not an athlete and you pulled a hammy, you can't even walk. It sucks. But how concerned are you with Christian Gonzalez? Give me a scale down in the comments, 1 to 10. 1, you're not concerned at all. 10, like, oh my God, the sky is falling, because it will be falling if it's a serious injury, with no doubt about that one. Coming up, we did have a practice today, and it was actually a very good practice. So we're going to go past the bad news and go moving over to the good news. And yeah, it's hard to talk about the good, but we still got to talk about the good because Drake Maye looked good, the defense looked good, and the offensive line looked good. But speaking of Drake Maye, the jersey is still on sale, people. I thought it was only going to be a 1-week type of thing, but no, you can still get your Drake Maye jersey on sale for $103.99. I saw another deal on Fanatics, which was hilarious. It was $20 for Mac Jones 2023 calendar. Who's on sale. But no, I give you guys the good deals. And this good deal right here, good deal right there. It's $103.99, 20% off for a Drake Maye jersey. If you want to be repping the franchise quarterback, go to chatsports.com/Maye jersey. We'll have that in the comments and description of today's video. So don't miss out on this deal. I already got my Drake Maye jersey. I'm saving wearing the jerseys for the watch parties. And we got a watch party coming up in a couple weeks where we play Washington, the first preseason game. We will be live. So if you want to rep the Patriots, rep Drake Maye, get your jersey today, chatsports.com/Maye jersey. All right. Let's talk about the good news. Let's talk about the actual good news. We still have Christian Gonzalez on the back of our minds, but the Patriots put on the pads for the first practice of training camp. This is where the real football time, the real football players. Why did I not play football? Because, yeah, I couldn't put on the pads for college. I played flag football in college. Not real football. This is where it's a true test. We get to see the lines make some contact. We get to see Will Campbell up in the trenches going up against Keon White, going up against K'Lavon Chaisson. Like, it is exciting to see. Now, for the first practice, Mike Vrabel talked about this on Saturday, how they're mainly going to only do red zone work for their first padded practice. And that's what the Patriots did. We saw them just not go down the field in team drills on the team period. It was within the 20, which I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all, because we need to see Drake Maye in those types of situations, because the Patriots offense in the red zone last year was putrid. You couldn't get into the end zone. You couldn't do anything. And I got 3 takeaways for you guys going in from today's training camp. And it was that Will Campbell, he looked really solid. And that was the big question going into today, as they're now putting on the pads. And I got to hear T-Rex this, T-Rex that, T-Rex McGee nonstop about Will Campbell and his short arms. But a lot of the reporters, like Evan Lazar, he works for the Pats. Like, he tweeted out, Will Campbell looks great in the run game in his first padded practice, moving the lines on down blocks, combos, put a few dudes on the ground already. Pause. Shout out to Evan Lazar for that one. And then Phil Perry, like in the red zone period, a big block from Campbell on Milton Williams. Milton Williams, your star guy that you paid all this money to, blocked him downfield and opened up a lane for a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown run. Like, that's what you want to see out of your left tackle. That's what we didn't see from the Patriots at all on this offensive line. Why did Ramondre Stevenson's yards per carry go all the way down to 3.9? Because the offensive line couldn't make holes. If Will Campbell is making holes, then you are going to have success in the run game. And what does that lead to? Play action. So I really like what I saw out of Will Campbell today. And we talked about it before. We're going to see Will Campbell suited up in that first preseason game against Washington, August 8th. That is a Friday night. We'd be live at 6:30. So if you're tuned in, if you're going to be tuning in for that first watch party, if you want to hear me do play-by-play, give analysis, and just talk about the game, have a little fun for our first watch party of the season, type me in the comments if you're going to be tuned in, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out and get that notification just in case you miss out on our first watch party. Second takeaway, the wide receivers are balling out. Stefon Diggs, he was a little quiet for the first couple practices. So was Kyle Williams. But on Monday, it was really getting going. We saw Jalen Polk finally hit the practice field after missing all of last week for muscle soreness injury, muscle tightness injury. And I was ranting on, you got to get on the field, man, because you are trying for a roster spot here. And he got a pass in the back of the end zone from Mr. Drake Maye. And then Kyle Williams, he was looking good, but I will say because Christian Gonzalez is out, Marcellus was on the coverage, and he was on an outbreaker on the low red zone, made a little one-handed grab, saw the highlight of it, and it was really exciting to see Kyle Williams. He is one guy that is going to look – he looks really good throughout training camp. He was a little quiet, but on Wednesday he was catching everything, and then Saturday came back, and today was one of the top targets for Drake Maye and the Patriots. But it's hard to assess it because when you have – Alex Austin, who I think is an underrated cornerback, but it's hard to assess when you're without your top two cornerbacks. Christian Gonzalez didn't practice after getting hurt, and Carlton Davis was not there at all. So it's kind of hard to really put grasp on how good this team is. And then Ben Volen, he made another good point that I really didn't think about until I saw this. And he said the problem with training camp stats in one play, he's like, Drake Maye hits Stefon Diggs on a play-action pass over the middle, and the crowd goes crazy, and it goes in the books as a big completion. Except the throw was near safety Jabril Peppers, and if this was actual gameplay, boom, gets huge hit. Like, obviously you want your guy, your safety, to check up because it's your own teammate. But it's like he says right here, it's impossible to know how that play would play out in a real game because it's practice. So that's where it's kind of really hard to assess your wide receivers and cornerbacks because they're not going to be full-on physical just yet. You don't want to get your own teammates hurt, but we'll see the jointed practices where we really get to see how these teams are. And the last takeaway is the defensive line is vicious. Keion White did put Will Campbell in the ground for one of those reps, but overall Campbell looked good. But they were getting to the quarterback, man. They were really getting to Drake Maye. And we saw this from Phil Perry. He tweeted out, like, minimal pass game work today because it was in the red zone. They were running the ball a lot. But Harold Landry, K'Lavon Chaisson, Truman Jones all paired to have sacks. Chaisson had a pair. And there we go. Will Campbell clean in the 11-on-11 portions. And talking about the pass rushers, like Harold Landry getting a sack, and then underrated, who I think might move Anthony Jennings just out of this depth chart and possibly get him cut, is K'Lavon Chaisson. And coming over from the Raiders, he was solid, but he was also kind of suffering from injuries throughout his career. And he's called himself just really a late bloomer in the NFL. And if he can break out and be a great pass rusher on the opposite side of Harold Landry, and you have Christian Barmore and Milton Williams on the inside, this defense is going to be an absolute threat. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Chaisson can do on this defensive line because he's not going to be double teamed whatsoever. And he's got that athletic ability to get to the quarterback. And Mike Vrabel saw that, and that's why they signed him. Here's what Vrabel had to say on him. I think that's probably a good way to look at it, talking about if he's going to be a late bloomer in his career to break out. It takes some players a little longer than it takes others. And I would say that I'm hopeful that his best football is in front of him. I'm very excited about how he came in personality-wise and what he's shown on the field thus far. So that's an interesting, fun room to be around. Like, I'm really excited to see him, and I think that this defense is just going to be a threat, an absolute threat. They're getting to Drake Maye, and I think this offensive line isn't as bad as people think. I think it's going to be a little bit rough, but overall, like, it can't be worse than last year. Like, Drake Maye also looked really good, completed a bunch of passes. Team looks great. I'm really enjoying what I've seen out of the Pats so far. The vibes just look good, but overall, man, it's just Christian Gonzalez, just please be okay, brother. Please be okay. I hope your hammy's good. If you want my hamstring, come and take it. Please come and take it because you need it. You need it a lot more than I need it. And we'll have you covered with any Christian Gonzalez update. And I think it's about a week. It is a week from Thursday. We will be live for our first preseason game watch party against the Commanders. So make sure you're subscribed to Patriots Today. We're on our way to 27,000 subs. And as always, let's go Pats.